All right, guys, this is old school. I uh, I was thumbing through TikTok and I came across a couple of brothers on there. They were talking about why they shut down in their relationships as far as marriage and dating and intermingling with women. And I have to admit, it really touched the nerve with old school because although these brothers that you're going to see are pretty young, what they were saying was exactly what had occurred to me when in my relationships and marriages back in the 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s. Because I remember telling my spouses that one of the worst things that you could ever want me to do is to shut down. It's an extremely true statement that I made back then in my relationships. Because when I shut down, that was it. I had no more. I had no more energy for conversations. I had no more energy for trying to defend myself or anything because the other person just did not listen and did not hear or didn't care to listen or hear what was really bothering me. But when I ran across these brothers that were talking, I have to admit it really brought me down. I'm not going to talk through the video. That's why on my introduction, I'm just letting you know what this is about and why it's personal. Because now I do understand that I wasn't alone. There are a lot of men that feel exactly the same way. With all that being said, I'm not going to talk you to death, but like I said, this is a very, very personal video. And until women try to understand men, we'll never get this right because it's not about women. It's about listening to your spouse as far as what they're trying to tell you to keep that relationship going. So take yourself out of his equation and listen to what he's trying to tell you without interruption. Okay, with all that being said, let's watch. And hopefully we can turn this whole thing around.
When a man opens up, when he really opens up, don't you use what he said when he was open to prove a point when you want to win an argument. You will never hear the full story from us ever again. And we'll start say stuff like this. How are you? Good. I ain't good, but I just ain't telling you. Women, let me tell you something. Men are not emotionless. We have deep emotions. We just don't know how to express them. And let me tell you, if you make us feel unsafe, you'll never hear from us again. If I tell you something in a moment of vulnerability and you use it against me in an argument, you can forget me talking to you forever. And you keep talking about he quiet, he shut down, he's in his man cave, he won't open up because when he did open up, you shut the door on him. When a man does not feel appreciated in the area of his presence, he becomes a version of a man that he can give you and still survive. And I promise you, you will not like that version. That version of him is silent, frustrated, sharp with his words, short-tempered, non-communicative, because he has to become something that he can survive in.
6 reasons why men shut down. Number one, they've been conditioned to. A lot of times men are not conditioned to share their feelings. When you're young, what do they say? Suck it up, keep it in, don't be a little bitch. And so men grow up to be conditioned not to share their emotions. They don't know how to process them. Number two, embarrassment. When a man feels embarrassed, many times what he does is he simply shuts down because he's trying to process it. Number 3, when he feels disrespected or emasculated by his woman. That's plain and simple. Many of you women out there have that alpha energy. But what you're doing is you're emasculating the man. And some women will just disregard this. Okay, fine. I'm just telling you. Number 4, when he feels unheard, when he feels like you don't hear what he's saying, you're not listening to his heart, he will shut down. Number 5, when he's processing and when he doesn't know what to do, he's trying to figure it out. And number 6, last but not least, he's trying to preserve the relationship.
Have you ever experienced a man shutting down, withdrawing into silence, and seemingly closing off communication? It can be frustrating and confusing, but there are often underlying reasons behind this behavior. In this video, we'll explore 10 common reasons why men shut down, backed by real-life examples, to shed light on this phenomenon. 1. Feeling overwhelmed. Men, like anyone else, can feel overwhelmed by stress, responsibilities, or emotions. For example, John shuts down when he's overloaded with work deadlines and family obligations, finding it hard to express himself. 2. Fear of vulnerability. Society often expects men to be stoic and strong, making it challenging for them to express vulnerability. Example, when faced with emotional challenges, such as a relationship issue, Tom shuts down to avoid appearing weak. 3. Communication style differences. Men and women may have different communication styles, leading to misunderstandings. Example, David, for instance, shuts down during arguments with his partner because he feels attacked, while she seeks resolution through discussion. 4. Past trauma. Previous experiences of rejection, criticism, or trauma can make men hesitant to open up. Example, Mark shuts down in social situations due to childhood bullying, fearing judgment and ridicule. 5. Need for space. Sometimes, men shut down as a way to process their thoughts and emotions in solitude. Example, after a heated argument with his friend, Mike retreats to his room to reflect and calm down before addressing the issue. 6. Avoidance of conflict. Men may shut down to avoid confrontation or conflict, preferring peacekeeping over confrontation. Example, Jack stays silent during family gatherings to prevent escalating tensions, even if it means suppressing his own feelings. 7. Lack of emotional vocabulary. Society often discourages men from exploring and expressing their emotions, leading to a limited emotional vocabulary. Example, Alex struggles to articulate his feelings during therapy sessions, resorting to silence as he grapples with unfamiliar emotions. 8. Self-protection. In some cases, men shut down to protect themselves from further emotional pain or rejection. Example, James withdraws.
So you say he doesn't talk much. But now, something happened, he hit a boiling point. And he's going off. Now, this is a man you've been trying to get to talk for a while. But now he's angry. And he's going off. Cool. I'm not saying it's right or wrong in his tone and the words that he's using. I can't call it right because I don't know exactly how off he's going. But here's the thing. Your response was, he's acting like a little what? So you want this man to talk and you missed an entire opportunity why he's going off, because that's him emoting. It's just not coming out the way you heard it in your head when you had a conversation about talking to him. This is an opportunity to say, hey honey, thank you for talking to me. I realize that you're upset, but at least appreciate that you're saying something. And now use that opportunity to correct time, tone, and topic.